Hello there everyone and welcome to a brand new video of yours truly, Benji the Beagle. I am here in Oregon for this video, yes, Oregon, and we are going to be talking about, me and Shanaki here are going to be talking about our top 5 favorite video games of all time. So without further ado, let's get into it, yes. And at number 5 now, we're going to start with Shanaki. And Shanaki, what is your number 5 video game?
Number 5 video game of all time is, I have to give it to Spyro the Reignited Trilogy. The reason for this being, when I was a little kid, when the PlayStation 1 came out, that's what I told my mom. That's what I told Mama Wolf what I wanted for Christmas that year. And she was a single mom, and she somehow made that work. And the first game I ever played on the PlayStation 1 was Spyro the Dragon. So seeing my childhood favorite dragon just brought into HD, it was absolutely phenomenal. It may not be the best gameplay wise, but it's very special to me, so it takes my 5th spot.
So my 5th spot would definitely, you guys, it's gonna be a little controversial here, but my 5th spot is definitely Call of Duty for the PS4 and PS5. Yes, not the older ones, the newer ones. I know a lot of people are thinking, why do you like Call of Duty? And it's probably because I find for me, it's relaxing. For a lot of people, I know it's probably not relaxing, but just for me, it's relaxing. After a hard day of work, I like to just play Call of Duty and relax for the day. So, for me, number 5 is definitely Call of Duty, yes. And at number 4, and I'll start for this one, and that is Assassin's Creed 2. Ooh. Yes, Assassin's Creed 2 for the PS3. Honestly, this one was just the gameplay, the plot, everything. Also bringing Ezio into the trilogy was just so amazing. I love that about it. It was just, yeah, definitely Assassin's Creed 2. What's number 4 for you?
Number 4, this is another game that was suggested to me by a very good friend of mine. It's got to go to Persona 5 Royal Edition. I have always been a big JRPG or RPG fan. He said, you need to give this game a shot. If you like Final Fantasy and you have not tried Persona 5, I highly suggest you try the Persona 5 Royal Edition. It's on pretty much every console, and I believe it's even on Steam at this point.
And at number 3 now, we're going to start with Shanaki. What is your number 3 spot?
Number 3, as I said, I'm a huge Final Fantasy person. Final Fantasy X takes my number 3 spot. Final Fantasy X did so much for the Final Fantasy franchise. It's the first one that ever used voiceover work. It still had the traditional turn-based combat system. All of the characters are amazing. I think one thing that Final Fantasy and RPG games fall victim to is there's always that one character that just gets under everyone's skin and they're like, I don't like this character. Final Fantasy X's characters, top to bottom, whether they're a minor character you see one time or you see them the whole game with like Titus and Yuna, the main characters, they're all amazing.
So my number 3 would definitely have to be Sonic Heroes for the PS2. Just because, one, it was my very first Sonic game that I've ever played. And it was just so, I just loved it so much. It was just, the storyline was great. Just the music track with Sonic Heroes, honestly, for me, is my childhood. I just loved it so much. So for me, I just love Sonic Heroes. And plus, don't forget Tails. Tails is just so amazing. So yes, number 3 for sure, Sonic Heroes. Yes, yes, yes. And then number 2 now, and for me, it would definitely have to be, this was highly underrated in my opinion, that is Spider-Man 3 for the PS3. Not the PS2 edition, the PS3 edition. And we're talking about the Tobey Maguire one. This one was so good. It was, this one was really good. You got to go to certain missions, and each mission had its own storyline. Then they had the storyline of the movie, and honestly for me, I just loved it. I absolutely loved it. I played it with my friend Gavin, who I'm still friends with today, and we bonded so much over it. I love it, yes. What about you?
Number 2, this might be a little controversial because I'm going into another long series, but number 2 for me has got to go to Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, I know a lot of you are saying Kingdom Hearts 3 is not the best in the series, and you are correct. A lot of people say Kingdom Hearts 2 is the strongest game, and I don't disagree with your argument on that. What makes 3 so special is we waited 14 and a half years for this game. 14 and a half years. Tetsuya Nomura, my buddy, I love you. I love your games. You're an amazing game artist, but why did you leave us waiting? I was in 8th grade in 2005 when Kingdom Hearts 2 came out. I had to wait until my 30s to play this game. It is not fair. But Kingdom Hearts 3, guys, those last like 5 hours of the game, I cried so much.
Alright, so in at number 1 now, our very first number 1 spots for our video game choices. And let's start with you, Shanaki. What is your number 1 pick?
Going back to Final Fantasy, anybody who knows me and also knows the origin of my name should be able to figure this out. That is, in my opinion, the greatest game of all time. The best Final Fantasy of all time is Final Fantasy VII. You might be saying the original or the remake, and my answer is they're the same thing. I know the games have different things, but the series as a whole is so special to me. I remember as a kid playing this game for the very first time. It's also what got my mom into playing video games, because when I got to that scene in Final Fantasy VII, if you've played Final Fantasy VII, you know what scene I'm talking about. My mom heard me crying at 7 or 8 years old in the other room, bawling my eyes out, going, I couldn't, I was inconsolable because I'd fallen in love with all these characters. But the story, the characters, and my boy Nanaki, or Red 13, that's where part of my name comes from. Final Fantasy VII is so special to me. When the remake got announced in 2014, I was in tears.
So my number 1 game, and I'm going back to my childhood a little bit here, and I'm going with the one that my grandfather bought me, who's still alive today. And I'm really close to my grandfather, really close to my parents, so I have to go with this game that really brought me and my family close together. And that's SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom for the PS2. And to me, it reminds me of good memories. It reminds me of my family. It reminds me of just so many good times and so many good times as a child, so many good times as an adult. Also, when I first heard they were going to remake it, I lost it. I literally lost it. So I'm still happy they remade it. And even in my opinion, the remake is really good too. I was so happy how they did it. And it was really awesome. I'm just so happy with that game. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video with me and Shanaki talking about our favorite video games. What are some of your video games that you all enjoy? Leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear your guys' suggestions of what are some video games you all enjoy. If you all enjoyed this video, give this a like, subscribe, turn on notifications. But as always, thank you to Oregon. I bid y'all a good farewell.